Chicago's Lincoln Park, October 2025, a storm rips the night apart, thunder booming like a war drum, rain drowning the streets. Jessica Carter's screaming for her 4-year-old blind son. Liam, lost in the chaos after wandering off toward a swollen pond. "Mommy, I'm scared," his tiny voice cuts through the wind, just as lightning flashes, revealing a scarred, limping stray dog charging through the dark. In a heartbeat, it grabs Liam's hoodie, yanking him from the water's edge as Jessica races up, breathless. "A hero came," Liam whispers, hand in the dog's fur, while its amber eyes lock on them, fierce. Haunted, ready for war. This ain't just a rescue, it's the spark of a battle no one saw coming. 6 years after losing her firefighter husband, Jessica's barely holding on, until this battered mutt crashes into their lives. But when shadowy suits and her own in-laws start circling, it's clear, this dog's a legend with a past, and they'll kill to claim him. Buckle up, America, this is a tale of a blind kid's grit. A mom's fight, and a stray who'd die for them both. What happens when a hero's scars hide a secret worth millions? Stick around, you won't believe the twist. The clock struck 6:45 p.m. On October 12, 2025, when Chicago's Lincoln Park turned into a war zone of nature's making. A thunderstorm roared in from Lake Michigan, thunder cracking like artillery, rain hammering the earth in torrents that flooded the winding paths and ancient oaks. Jessica Carter, 32, stood drenched under a sagging canopy, her flashlight beam slashing through the dark as her voice broke with desperation. "Liam. Liam, baby, where are you?" Her heart pounded a brutal rhythm. Her sneakers sinking into the mud as she searched for her 4-year-old blind son. Just 20 minutes ago, they'd been perched on a weathered bench near North Pond, Liam giggling at the hum of cicadas. His tiny hands clapping to their song. Then her phone buzzed, a call from Eddie, her diner boss, his gravelly voice barking through static. "Miss another shift, Carter, and you're done, Liam or not." She'd turned away for 30 seconds to plead her case, and in that blink, Liam vanished, drawn by what he'd later call a sound that felt sad. "Mommy, I'm scared." Liam's cry floated faintly over the wind's howl. A fragile thread Jessica chased through the storm. She stumbled over roots, her breath hitching as memories clawed at her. 6 years back, December 2019, when her husband, David Carter, a Chicago firefighter, ran into a blazing South Side warehouse to save trapped workers. The roof collapsed, and David didn't come out. Losing Liam now? Her chest tightened, a scream ripping free. "Somebody. Please, help me." Lightning tore the sky, spotlighting North Pond's swollen edge, its waters churning, inches from swallowing her boy. She ran faster, terror choking her. Then, a shape surged through the chaos, a hulking shadow barreling toward Liam's voice. Jessica's gut screamed predator, bear, junkie, but another flash revealed a dog, massive and scarred. Its fur plastered with mud and rain, limping hard but moving with relentless purpose. Before she could react, it reached Liam, teetering on the pond's slick rim, and clamped its jaws gently on his blue hoodie, yanking him back from the drop. Jessica skidded up, gasping, as Liam's small hand sank into the dog's soaked fur, his fear melting into wonder. "A hero came, Mommy," he whispered. Voice shaky but certain, his unseeing hazel eyes bright with trust. "I heard it crying by the trees, and it found me." Jessica dropped to her knees, pulling Liam close, her tears lost in the rain. The dog stood there, a battered sentinel, ribs jutting under matted black and tan fur, scars slashing its muzzle like war paint, one hind leg stiff and crooked. Its amber eyes locked on them, deep with a pain and wisdom that slammed Jessica back to David's quiet courage, the way he'd look at her before a shift, steady, unshakable. Thunder rolled, but Liam didn't flinch. His fingers tangled in the dog's coat, a bond snapping into place like a lock clicking shut. Jessica's breath steadied, a realization sinking in. This wasn't a random stray, this was destiny crashing into their broken lives. Jessica Carter's world had been a slow bleed since David's death. A widow at 26, she'd clawed through 6 years in a crumbling Rogers Park walk-up, 2 rooms, peeling paint, a leaky roof that mocked her $12 an hour diner wage. Liam, born blind from congenital cataracts, was her light and her burden, his medical bills a mountain she couldn't climb, therapies eating her savings until she sold her wedding ring to pay for his preschool. She'd been a dreamer once, an art student sketching cityscapes, laughing with David over cheap beer. Now, she was a ghost in her own life, waking at 4 a.m. to mix Liam's meds. Fry eggs on a hot plate, and haul him across town to Lincoln Elementary for the blind. Her boss, Eddie, griped about her absences, doctor visits, therapy sessions, while her night gig cleaning offices left her bone-tired. Relying on Mrs. Rosa Lopez, their 70-year-old neighbor, to watch Liam. David's parents, Robert and Margaret Carter, loomed like storm clouds. Robert, a real estate tycoon with a Gold Coast penthouse, had scorned Jessica from day one, a diner girl unfit for his firefighting son. Margaret, all pearls and pursed lips, echoed him, David deserved better. After his death, their disdain sharpened into a crusade. Liam needs proper care, our care, Robert would growl during tense visits, eyeing their cramped apartment with disgust. You're drowning, Jessica. Let us take him, top schools. Doctors, security. Their wealth dangled like a bribe, but Jessica saw the strings, control, judgment, erasure of her as Liam's mom. Her own folks, back in Akron, Ohio, sent birthday cards and prayers, nothing more. She was alone, her love for Liam her only armor. Liam Carter lived in a world of sound and sensation. At 4, he'd never seen the Chicago skyline, but he'd map it with his hands, fingers brushing brick walls. Voice chirping, tall buildings hum like bees. His hearing was a superpower, clocking Mrs. Lopez's shuffle 2 floors down, laughing at pigeons cooing on their fire escape. Blindness didn't dim him. It sharpened him. He'd mastered Braille by 3, tracing dots with a focus that floored his teachers, spinning tales of flying over Lake Michigan, blue sounds cold and fast. But the world bit back. Park moms shooed their kids away, he's different, their whispers cutting deeper than playground taunts. At preschool, bullies hid his cane, snickering when he stumbled. While overworked aides sighed, he's a handful. Yet Liam glowed, his grin a sunrise, his spirit a fire no darkness could snuff. That night, as Jessica clutched Liam under a dripping tree, the dog, Shadow, she'd later name him, stood watch, its scars glinting like medals. Mrs. Lopez hobbled up, umbrella flapping, yelling, saw it save him, big damn hero. Neighbors gawked from windows. Phones out, filming the drenched trio. Jessica's voice trembled, we're okay, buddy. But in Shadow's steady gaze, she saw a promise, and a fight brewing she couldn't yet name. Dawn broke gray over Rogers Park on October 13, 2025, the storm's wreckage strewn across Chicago's north side, broken branches, flooded gutters, power lines hissing. Jessica cracked her apartment door. Liam still asleep, and froze. The scarred dog from the park sat on her stoop, amber eyes fixed upward, mud caking its crooked leg. Its presence jolted her, half relief, half dread. Liam's bare feet slapped the floor behind her, his voice bright, Mom, it's him, my hero. He shuffled forward, hands outstretched, and the dog met him halfway, letting Liam's fingers explore its battered muzzle, scars like canyons. Fur coarse with survival. He's big, Liam giggled, tracing a gash over its eye. And brave. Jessica named him Shadow, his silent vigil mirroring the ghosts in her life. But practicality screamed, no money for kibble. No space in their shoebox home, no mercy from her landlord. Liam's plea cut through. He helps me see, Mommy, he walks me right. She watched, stunned, as he gripped Shadow's back. Stepping confidently around the cluttered living room, the dog nudging him past chairs and corners. Her resolve cracked. How could she say no to that? Trouble crashed in fast. Mr. Evans, their pot-bellied super, banged on her door by noon, face red as his bull's cap. No pets, Carter, especially not that monster. Looks like it'd rip a kid apart. Liam clung to Shadow's fur. Tears pooling. He's good. He saved me from the water. Shadow licked his hand, calm as granite, but Evans snarled, rules are rules, ditch it, or you're evicted by month's end. Jessica's stomach dropped, 30 days to nowhere, but her jaw set. We'll manage, she told Liam, voice steel, though her mind spun, how? Shadow became their phantom protector. Sleeping outside their door, vanishing when animal control's white van prowled, reappearing like clockwork to greet Liam. A week later, October 20th, Jessica got stuck late at the diner, Eddie's last warning ringing in her ears. She raced to Lincoln Elementary, panic spiking, only to find Liam safe at the gate, Shadow sprawled beside him, tail thumping. He walked me, Mom, Liam beamed. Knew every crossing, stopped at lights. Teachers gaped. Jessica's chest tightened. Shadow wasn't just smart, he was trained. His instincts were surgical, pausing at curbs, nudging Liam from strangers, guiding him through Rogers Park's chaos like a seeing eye pro. Jessica's pride swelled, but dread gnawed deeper. The Carters struck hard. A certified letter slid under her door. Emergency custody evaluation, Liam endangered by unstable home. Presence of dangerous stray. Robert's voice echoed from their last clash. You're reckless, Jessica. That mutt proves it, Liam deserves us. Her hands shook, they'd weaponized Shadow. Word spread, neighbors whispered, that dog's trouble, eyes darting as Shadow trailed Liam. At a free vet clinic, Dr. Patel, a grizzled ex-Army vet, squinted at Shadow's scars. Seen him before, NYPD K9, Titan. Hero dog, saved kids in a Bronx fire, took a beam to the leg. Retired, dumped at a shelter when no one took him. Jessica's breath hitched, David's fire? Titan, Shadow, carried a past as heavy as hers. Patel's voice dropped, worth a fortune to the right people, trained K9s fetch millions overseas. That past drew predators. October 25th, a slick man in a pinstripe suit snapped photos of Shadow at the park. Bolting when Jessica yelled, hey! Nightly calls followed, nice dog. Name your price, each voice colder, each number blocked but new. November 1st, 2 men shadowed them from preschool. Hoods low, Shadow's growl rumbling. Worth millions, ex-cop dog, one hissed as Shadow lunged, scattering them. Jessica clutched Liam, heart racing. That night, their apartment was hit, lock-picked. Nothing stolen, just Shadow's blanket sniffed, David's old firefighting manuals flipped open. Someone knew, and wanted him bad. Mrs. Lopez, knitting furiously, cornered Jessica, saw a black SUV circling, fancy plates. Tinted windows. Ain't right, Mija. Jessica's gut twisted, traffickers? The Carters? Shadow slept closer, ears pricked, a scarred soldier guarding her crumbling world. November 2025 turned Chicago into a pressure cooker for Jessica Carter. The trafficking ring bared fangs, dead rats piled on her doorstep, texts flashing photos, Liam at preschool, Shadow on walks, captioned TikTok. Her diner shifts became a gauntlet, men in suits lingered over cold coffee. Eyes tracking her. November 8th, her '98 Honda's tires were slashed, a note under the wiper, dog or kid, choose. Shadow's kibble tested positive for sedatives, Jessica caught it. Dumping it in a panic. Black SUVs haunted their block, engines idling like threats. The Carters escalated legally. November 15, a custody hearing in Cook County Court saw Victor Grayson. Their shark of a lawyer, shred Jessica, jobless Eddie fired her after a missed shift, broke, harboring a vicious stray. Doctored clips showed Shadow snarling, cropped to hide him shielding Liam from a drunk on Clark Street. Robert testified, voice oily, "She's a mess, endangering my grandson with that beast." Margaret dabbed fake tears. Child Services swooped, a stern caseworker noting Shadow as a safety hazard. Jessica fought, voice raw, "He saved Liam's life, gives him wings." The judge's frown deepened, temporary weekend visits to the Carters ordered. Community backlash hit like a freight train. Neighbors petitioned, "Ban that monster." Lincoln Elementary barred Shadow, PDA moms shunned Liam, "Keep that thing away." The diner posted "No dogs," her landlord, Mr. Evans. Served eviction papers, "Too much drama," out by December. Liam's world shrank, nightmares of faceless men stealing Shadow, his hands clutching fur like a lifeline. "They hate us. Mom," he'd whisper, voice small, breaking her soul. Preschool kids taunted, blind boys got a killer dog, teachers looked away. Then, November 20th, the snatch went down. Jessica, delayed at a temp agency interview, trusted Shadow to walk Liam home from therapy, 3 blocks, a routine they'd nailed. A gray van screeched up at Maple and 5th, 2 men in ski masks lunging. "Hey, Liam, Grandpa sent us," one lied, grabbing his arm. Shadow erupted, teeth sinking into flesh, barking a sharp, rhythmic code. Mrs. Jenkins, watering her geraniums, dialed 911, "Kidnapping, Maple and 5th. Hurry." The men pivoted, "Screw the kid, grab the dog." But Shadow was a tornado, pinning them till sirens wailed. They fled, one yelling, "That mutt's worth millions, game's not over." Jessica arrived, breathless, as CPD swarmed. Officer Daniels, a grizzled vet, eyed Shadow, tactical, ex-K9, no doubt. They wanted him, not the boy. Shadow stood, blood on his fur, not his, scanning threats. That night, Jessica hugged him, whispering, "You're our shield." The Carters twisted it, emergency filing, Jessica's chaos nearly lost Liam. Rachel Evans, David's sister, crashed their next meeting. November 23, slamming a file on Jessica's table. Robert's filthy, tied to a dog trafficking ring, selling ex-K9s overseas. Shadow's their prize, Liam's the bait. Bank records. Photos, Robert shaking hands with suited thugs, spilled out. Jessica's blood iced, her father-in-law, a criminal mastermind. Rachel, a paralegal with fire in her veins, dug deeper, he's funding it through Carter Realty shell companies, millions at stake. November 28, Thanksgiving, brought no peace. An SUV rammed their alley, shattering windows, Shadow's growl woke Liam, who clung to him, sobbing. Jessica's phone buzzed, a voice, "Dog to Humboldt Park." Midnight, or Liam's gone. She stared at Shadow, his scars a map of battles fought, knowing the war was just beginning. December 2025 froze Chicago in a vice, snow blanketing Rogers Park. Tension choking Jessica's world. The trafficking ring struck relentlessly, SUVs smashed trash bins outside her walk-up, locks jimmied nightly, Shadow's growls a constant alarm. Anonymous calls escalated, midnight, Humboldt, dog or blood. Robert's lawyers piled on, custody hearings drowned in lies, fake videos, bribed neighbors claiming Shadow attacked kids. Jessica's life unraveled, evicted December 10, crashing with Rachel, Liam's school banning him after PDA threats. Shadow never faltered, guiding Liam through chaos, a scarred rock in a crumbling storm. Rachel linked with Detective Mark Russo, Shadow's old NYPD handler, undercover 3 years busting the ring. December 15th, Russo met them in a Pilsen diner, scars matching shadows. Voice rough, Titan, Shadow, was mine. Saved David in that 19 fire, took a beam to the leg. Robert selling him, traffickers offered $2 million. Wiretaps, photos, Robert with mobbed-up suits, nailed him. Russo's team had tracked the ring from Brooklyn to Chicago, Shadow their crown jewel. He's using Liam to force your hand, Russo growled. The showdown hit December 21st, a court-ordered weekend at the Carters' Gold Coast mansion. Midnight, Jessica's burner rang, Humboldt Park, alone, dog for the kid. Liam's voice sobbed, Mom, they'll hurt Shadow. Robert played the frantic grandpa for CPD, but Russo sniffed it, inside job, his codes. His window. Shadow tracked Liam sent from a dropped Lego, leading Jessica and Russo to a West Side warehouse. Inside, Liam sat tied, Robert barking at goons in Armani, custody's mine, dog's yours. $2 mill split. Shadow struck, toppling crates as a feint, then a silent rush. A guard fired, Shadow took the slug, crashing into steel, blood pooling, but clawed up, snarling off attackers. Jessica untied Liam, Russo's team stormed, cuffs on Robert, traffickers down. Shadow staggered, leg shattered, shielding Liam till medics hauled him out. Russo choked, he's still Titan, never quits. The vet fight was hell, bullet wound, 3 broken ribs, infection raging. December 23rd, Liam slept by Shadow's bed, whispering, you promised me. Vets marveled, Shadow fought sedation. Tail wagging at Liam's voice. Christmas Eve, he stabilized, bandaged but alive. Court flipped January 5, 2026, Russo's evidence torched Robert's case, trafficking charges stuck. Custody secured. Chicago rallied, fundraisers cleared Shadow's bills, Shadow's law passed, protecting service dogs. March 17, 2026, Shadow limped home, Liam's guide, Jessica's hero, a scarred stray who rewrote their fate. Lessons from A Cry in the Storm. Loyalty can defy all odds. Shadow didn't care that he was scarred, limping, or dumped by the world, he ran through a storm to save Liam and stuck by him through every threat. Lesson? True loyalty doesn't bend, no matter how beat up life leaves you. Who's the shadow in your life, the one who'd fight through hell for you? Courage comes in unexpected packages. A blind 4-year-old and a battered stray took on traffickers, corrupt family, and a city ready to write them off. Liam's grit and Shadow's heroics prove courage isn't about size or sight, it's heart. Ever seen bravery show up where you least expected it? Spill the tea. Family isn't just blood, it's who stands by you. Jessica, Liam, and Shadow built a bond stronger than the Carters' millions or Robert's schemes. Blood tried to tear them apart, but love and a dog's devotion held them together. What's your real family? The ones who've got your back when the chips are down. Justice takes a fight, not a handout. The system failed Jessica, cops, courts, neighbors all turned on her. She and Shadow had to claw justice back from traffickers and liars with grit and proof. Sometimes you've got to battle for what's right. Ever had to fight the system to win? Tell us how you did it. Healing starts with hope. Liam's nightmares, Jessica's losses, Shadow's scars, they didn't win until hope kicked in, a dog's wag. A kid's trust, a community waking up. Healing's messy, but it begins when you believe it's possible. How have you found light after your darkest days? Yo, squad, what punched you in the gut from Liam? Jessica, and Shadow's wild ride? That moment Shadow took a bullet? Jessica staring down a courtroom? Maybe you've got your own tale of a hero, furry or not, who pulled you through the fire. Drop it in the comments, I'm reading every single one. What do you think's next for this trio, more adventures or just some peace? Throw your wildest guesses at me. Smash that like button if this hit your soul. Subscribe for more epic stories of guts and glory, and share this with your crew. Let's get the whole country talking. What's your takeaway? Let's keep this fire burning.